Hello all, welcome to this lecture session on fluid kinematics part 3. We are learning fluid mechanics and fluid and turbo machinery lecture series. So we have started this lecture series with the help of basics of fluids, then properties of fluids, and then various concepts related to fluid mechanics. And now we are up to the fluid mechanics part 3, that is the theory part related with the fluid mechanics and with the continuity equation. So my name is Sawan Wani. I am assistant professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering in Padma Bhushan Vasantrao Dada Patil Institute of Technology, Budgaon. And from the first theory basis, we have completed the various lecture parts in power plant engineering, then various lectures related to refrigeration and air conditioning, and now we are learning the fluid mechanics theories. So in this particular fluids concept, we are going to see the continuity equation, which is related in last lecture. We have seen various types of lines, various types of concepts related to fluid kinematics. Now today we are going to see the next concepts related to fluid kinematics. So before that, I would like to tell to all of you to subscribe my YouTube channel. Also, for getting various videos related to the fluid mechanics or various engineering concepts, all should, if possible, just subscribe to our YouTube channel. So going for the first point, which is known as rate of flow, or it is also known as discharge. So guys, see, the concept of discharge came into existence when we have to learn the rate of flow, or we can say when we have to learn how much water or how much fluid is flowing from one point to another. Nowadays it is very important to measure this rate of flow. For example, when the water is coming from the dams, when the water is stored in the dams and it has to be flown from one point to another, so at that time we require to measure the discharge. So guys, see, whenever the word rate of flow or discharge will come into existence, we should say that the flow will be in terms of times. For example, the volume flow rate is nothing but discharge. So we can say that this much liters of water has been flowed per second, or this much liters of water has been flown per hour. So basically the unit for discharge will be meter cube per second, centimeter cube per second, liters per hour, meter cube per hour, etc. So let's see what is this rate of flow. Rate of flow or discharge is defined as the quantity of a liquid flowing per second through a section of pipe or a channel. It is generally denoted by Q, that is the letter Q denotes the discharge. So basically see that whether the flow is in a channel, that is an open channel, or whether the flow is from a pipe, then we say that still the flow is to be measured. Whenever the water or any fluid is flowing from one point to another, we say that a flow is possible, and therefore the discharge measurement is also possible. So we can consider a liquid flowing through a pipe having capital A as an area of cross section of the pipe, and V is the average velocity of the liquid. So discharge will be equal to area into average velocity, so that is Q is equal to AV. If area is in meter square and velocity is in meters per second, then the discharge unit becomes meter square into meters per second. So it is becoming meter cube per second, that is Qmax. It is also known as Qmax or meter cube per second. Now basically when we are going to measure the discharge, remember that the discharge can be measured through an internal side of a pipe or an open channel. The amount of flow rate, we can say the quantity of water or any liquid passing from one point to another, is known as discharge per unit time. So basically time measurement is also more important when we are measuring a discharge. Basically there are two types of discharges. First is theoretical discharge and second is actual discharge, which we are going to learn further when we are going to learn the Bernoulli's equation in fluid dynamics. But the rate of flow or discharge can be measured always with respect to time. So let's see how the continuity equation is varied. Because there is a concept that if the area in a certain pipe is variable, if the area in a certain pipe is variable, then what will happen is the velocity will also be variable. Naturally, if flow rate is kept constant, then if area is more, velocity will be less. If area is less, natural velocity will be more. So the continuity equation is based on the principle of conservation of mass. So it states that if no fluid is added or removed from the pipe in any length, then the mass passing across different sections shall be same. That is, no any fluid is added or removed from the pipe in any length, means the pipe, the water or the fluid is entering at one end and it is coming out from the other end. Then it is expected that the mass of the fluid flowing at across different sections will be same. As I explained you now, that if area is more, velocity will be less. If area is less, velocity will be more. So guys, let's see this diagram. There is a pipe section and you can see that the area of the pipe section is increasing. Area at section 1 is smaller, area at section 2 is bigger. So naturally what will happen here is area at section 1 is less, so velocity will be maximum here. And area at section 2 is more, so as compared to section 1, the velocity will be less here. Similar is with the pressure. Pressure here will be lower and pressure at section 2 will be higher also. So let's see how the equation is determined. Now we are having a cross section area 1 and 2. So we can say that consider two cross sections of a pipe as shown in the figure. So at section 1 we can take three quantities. Let's say that at section 1 area of pipe is A1. Velocity of the fluid at section 1 is V1. And rho 1 is the density of the fluid at section 1. So we are having three quantities: area, velocity and density. Similarly at section 2, A2, V2 and rho 2 are the corresponding values at section 2. Now what will happen is, as per the continuity law, the total quantity of fluid passing through section 1 will be rho 1 A1 V1. This is the total quantity of water or fluid passing through section 1. Rho 1 multiplied by A1 multiplied by V1. Similarly, total quantity of fluid passing through section 2 will be rho 2 A2 and V2. So therefore, from the theorem of continuity or the law of continuity which we have seen in the last slide, that the same mass is flowing through the cross section because the volume of the liquid is not added or removed any from this section. So therefore, from this law, rho 1 A1 V1 is equal to rho 2 A2 V2. Now what happens is, this equation is applicable to compressible as well as incompressible fluids and it is known as continuity equation. But if there is an incompressible fluid here, then we know that for incompressible fluids the density is constant. For incompressible fluids the density value is constant. So we can say that if in case of incompressible fluids, rho 1 will be equal to rho 2. Therefore what will happen is, from this equation rho 1 and rho 2 will be cancelled as they are same. So we get this final equation as A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. So this is the final equation for continuity. Now next we are going to see the problems based on rate of flow. Very easy problems based on rate of flow. How to calculate the rate of flow. So let's see the problem number 1. The diameters of a pipe at section 1 and section 2 are 200 mm and 300 mm respectively. If the velocity of water flowing through the pipe at section 1 is 4 meters per second, find discharge through the pipe and velocity of water at section 2. So see guys, we are going to see the meaning of this problem first. Diameters at section 1 and 2 are given 200 mm and 300 mm. So naturally section 1 is having lower area, that is as diameter is lower, and section 2 is having higher diameter as the diameter value is more than the diameter at section 1. If velocity of water flowing through the section 1, so we can say this is V1 is 4 meters per second, We have to find the total discharge through the pipe and velocity of water at section 2-2. So this diagram we can draw here. D1 is 200 mm, D2 is 300 mm. So the given values, diameter D1 is 200 mm, so converting into meters, 0.2 meters. Area A1 will be pi by 4 D1 square, so pi by 4 into 0.2 square, 0.0314 meters square. V1 is given as 4 meters per second. Diameter D2 is given to us as 300 mm, so we can calculate A2. Pi by 4 D2 square is equal to pi by 4 into 0.3 square, so we get it as 0.0707 meters square. So we have got A1, A2, we are having D1, D2 and V1. So naturally, velocity of water at section 2-2 we can easily find, and also discharge. So discharge through the pipe is Q equal to A1 V1. We can also write Q equal to A2 V2, but we are not having value of V2. So therefore we are taking A1 V1. So Q equal to 0.0314 into 4 is equal to 0.1256 meter cube per second. And second is velocity of water at section 2-2. So using the relation A1 V1 equal to A2 V2, V2 will be calculated as A1 V1 divided by A2. So 0.0314 into 4 divided by 0.0707. So we can get this value of velocity at point 2 as 1.77 meters per second. So as per theory, we had determined that at section 1-1, as diameter is lower, the velocity will be maximum, which is given as 4 meters per second. So naturally, if you have to find the velocity at section 2-2, then it will be lower than this 4 meters per second. So we have got this as 1.77 meters per second. Then problem number 2. The pipe 1, 450 mm in diameter, branches into two pipes, 2 and 3, of diameters 300 mm and 200 mm respectively, as shown in the figure. If the average velocity in 450 mm diameter pipe is 3 meters per second, find discharge through 450 mm diameter pipe, velocity in 200 mm diameter pipe if the average velocity in 300 mm pipe is 2.5 meters per second. So you can see that this problem is very confusing state. So we have to draw the diagram. So let's see the diagram here now, so that it will be very easy for us. A pipe 1 is having 450 mm in diameter. So this is a pipe 1 having 450 mm in diameter. So we have written this 1 encircled. It is branching into two pipes, 2 and 3. So one branch and two branch, that is number 2 and number 3 pipe. So number 2 is having 300 mm diameter. So D2 is 300 mm. And D3 is 200 mm here. That is pipe number 3. Now what is mentioned here, that if the average velocity in 450 mm diameter pipe is 3 meters per second, so easily we can write V1 is 3 meters per second. Find the discharge through 450 mm pipe, means we have to find out Q here, that is Q1 we can say. Then velocity in this pipe in 200 mm diameter pipe if average velocity in 300 mm diameter pipe is 2.5 meters per second. So D2, V2 is known, we have to find out V3. So given diameter D1 is 450 mm, so 0.45 meters. A1 will be pi by 4 D1 square, so it will be pi by 4 into 0.45 square equal to 0.159 meters square. This is the area at section 1, that is pipe 1. Velocity V1 is 3 meters per second. Diameter D2 is 300 mm. So it's 0.3 meter. So A2 will be equal to pi by 4 into 0.3 square. So we get it as 0.0707 meter square. V2 is given as 2.5 meters per second. And D3 is 200 mm. So which is 0.2 meters. So A3 is equal to pi by 4 into 0.2 square. So we get it as 0.0314 meter square. So discharge through pipe, that is 1 here. We are already having A1 and V1. So Q1 will be equal to A1 V1 equal to 0.159 into 3. So therefore Q1 will be 0.477 meter cube per second. Then velocity in pipe of diameter 200 mm. This we have to find V3. So we can find here like this, that the discharge Q1 total discharge Q1 will be equal to Q2 plus Q3 because Q1 is branched into two pipes. So therefore Q1 will be equal to Q2 plus Q3. So naturally Q1 now is 0.477 meter cube per second. So now we can find out this value of Q2 also here because we are having V2 and A2 also. So Q2 will be equal to A2 V2. So which is 0.0707 into 2.5. So we get Q2 equal to 0.1767 meter cube per second. So now what we are requiring is Q1 is equal to Q2 plus Q3. So Q1 value is 0.477 written here is equal to Q2 value is 0.1767 just now calculated plus Q3. So Q3 is unknown. So finding out Q3 0.477 minus 0.1767 we get Q3 is equal to 0.3 meter cube per second. So as we have got the value of Q3 will be equal to A3V3. So V3 will be Q3 divided by A3. So Q3 is 0.3 divided by 0.0314. So we'll get V3 as 9.55 meters per second. So the value of V3 is 9.55 meters per second. So see now that diameter 450 mm, velocity is 3. Then diameter 300 mm, velocity 2.5 meters per second. Now remember this diameter is more here, but the velocity is less here because the branch here is against the gravity. But all this velocity has been taken up by V3, which is having a velocity of 9.55 meters per second because diameter is 200 mm. So now we will see the next type of continuity equation, which is continuity equation in Cartesian coordinates. This is always a 100% surety question in any of the exams whenever continuity question is related. Basically, whenever this particular continuity equation problems are there, they are always related with this Cartesian coordinate systems. So let's see what this Cartesian coordinate system is there. Consider a fluid element that is known as a control volume, means it is a parallelopiped with sides dx, dy and dz as shown in the figure. So this blue color parallelopiped is there and it is there in all the three axes, that is x, y and z axis. So now with the help of this we are going to determine these values. Now you can see this in xy coordinate we are having a rectangle as ABFE or we can say AEFB. Then in y and z coordinates we are having ABCD. Then on the right hand side we can see here EFGH. So now the lengthwise direction in x direction is dx, in y direction is dy and the height is dz. These are the dimensions of this parallelopiped. So how to find the equation? The diagram is pasted here. Now let rho will be the mass density of the fluid at a particular instant. Now you will see that what will happen is when the fluid is entering in this area, that is ABCD, so from which area it is going outside, the fluid will go outside in EFGH area. Could you understand here now? This is the x direction of flow. If the fluid is entering in x direction, so the fluid will enter in ABCD and it will come outside from EFGH. If the fluid is coming from top side, that is BCGF, it will come in the downward direction from ADHE. And similarly, if the fluid is entering from ABFE, it will go outside from CDHG or we can say DCGH. This is the way in which we are going to find out the continuity equation for Cartesian coordinates. So let U, V and W are the components of velocity of flow in the three phases. So U will be the velocity in x direction, V will be the velocity in y direction and W will be the velocity in x directions. So now is it clear? Dx, dy and dz are the dimensions of this parallelopipe. U, V, W are the components of velocity. Now rate of mass of fluid entering the phase ABCD. So now as we mentioned that when the fluid will be entering in ABCD, it will be coming out from EFGH. So now when it is entering in ABCD, it will be equal to rho into velocity in x direction and area of ABCD. Velocity in x direction and area ABCD. So let's see how the equation is formulated. Rho is as it is Velocity in x direction, we have mentioned here, u, v, w are the velocities. So velocity in x direction, it is u. And see the dimensions of this ABCD area. ABCD. So dz into dy. This is dy, that is AD, and this is dz, that is height. So the area of that ABCD will be dy into dz. Okay. Now, rate of mass of fluid leaving the phase EFGH. Now this we have constituted. Again we are repeating. Rho is as it is. U is the velocity in x direction. Dy dz is the area of this ABCD. Now rate of mass of fluid leaving this EFGH. Now for this same area is there. So rho u dy dz will be as it is. So it is written here. But what we have to add? We have to add dabba by dabba x, because the fluid has already passed this dx distance. So this dx distance which is passed by the fluid is also be taken into consideration. So here it is an unknown area, because we don't know what is happening inside with the fluid. So dabba by dabba x, rho u dy dz, that is the same area of dx. So this will remain as it is. So now what will happen is, when the mass of the fluid will be entering from the system, so there will be a gain in mass. So this gain in mass per unit time due to the flow in x direction will be equal to mass of fluid per unit time due to flow in x direction. So therefore it will be equal to mass of fluid entering minus mass of fluid leaving. So rho u dy dz minus this rho u dabba by dabba x rho u dx dy dz. So final equation we get it as minus dabba by dabba x rho u dx dy dz. This is the final equation which we get after taking into consideration x direction. Now for y direction, similar for y direction. Similarly, the gain in fluid mass per unit for the parallel pipe due to flow in y direction and z direction. Now we are not taking into the deep derivation. As compared to x, we are writing y and z direction. So minus dabba by dabba y rho v dx dy dz minus dabba by dabba z rho w dx dy dz in z direction. So the total net gain in fluid mass will be equal to minus dabba by dabba x rho u plus dabba by dabba y rho v plus dabba by dabba z rho w dx dy dz. So rate of change of mass of parallel pipe. Now we have to take it in per unit time. So dabba by dabba t is equal to, here in bracket, rho dx dy by dz. Dabba by dabba t rho dx dy dz. So therefore the equations which we are going to calculate is minus dabba by dabba x rho u plus dabba by dabba y rho v plus dabba by dabba z rho w dx dy dz is equal to dabba by dabba t rho dx dy dz. So simplification and rearrangement, it will give us the value as dx dy dz will be just cancelled, and therefore dabba by dabba x rho u plus dabba by dabba y rho v plus dabba by dabba z rho w plus dabba rho by dabba t will be equal to 0. Now when we are going to finalize this equation, this is the generalized equation for the three dimensions, or we can say the Cartesian coordinate systems. If a steady flow is considered here, then dabba rho by dabba t is 0, because the density will not change from time to time. So the density is constant. So if we keep density as constant, then we will get the final equation as dabba rho by dabba x plus dabba u by dabba x plus dabba v by dabba y plus dabba w by dabba z equal to 0. Here we require dabba z. It's a typing mistake. For two-dimensional flow, the equation will be reduced to dabba u by dabba x plus dabba v by dabba y is equal to 0. For one-dimensional, it will be only dabba u by dabba x equal to 0, because v will be 0, w will be 0 for one-dimensional. For two-dimensional only, w will be 0. Integrating with respect to x, what we will get here, integrating here, we will get u equal to constant. So if the area of flow is A, then q is equal to A into u, that is equal to constant steady flow, which is the same equation which we have found out from the area or finding out for the velocity of flow. So basically, when we are going to use this, we are going to see with the help of a problems now how to find the problems based on Cartesian coordinate system. So problem number 1. In three-dimensional incompressible third flow, the velocity components in x and y directions are u equal to x square plus y square z cube, v equal to minus into bracket xy plus yz plus zx. Use continuity equation to evaluate an expression for the velocity component w in the z direction. So see how this problem will be solved now. The equation for steady flow which we have just determined is dou by u by dou x plus dou by v by dou y plus dou by w by dou z equal to 0. So now two equations are given to us, u and u and v. So u is equal to x square plus y square z cube and v is minus into bracket xy plus yz plus zx. So dou by u by dou x will be equal to this y square z cube will be 0 and it will be the dou by u by dou x only will be 2x. What will be dou by y by dou z? Minus will be as it is. Here xy will be only x, yz will be only z, zx will be equal to 0. So we get dou by y by dou by u by dou y is equal to minus into bracket x plus z. So substituting these values here in above equation, dou by u by dou x is 2x minus dou by u by dou y is x plus z plus dou by w by dou z equal to 0. Or we can say dou by w by dou z will be equal to minus x plus z, because 2x here is there, minus x minus z. So if we take in right hand direction, we will get minus x plus z. So what we have to find, guys, is w. So for finding out this w, integrating with respect to z, we get this w will be equal to, now here it will be minus xz plus z square by 2 plus c. So where c is the constant of integration and therefore it will be the function of x and y. So w will be equal to minus x plus z square by y plus f of xy. That will be the final equation. Going for problem number 2. For an incompressible fluid, the velocity components are u equal to x cube minus y cube minus z square x, v equal to y cube minus z cube, and w equal to minus 3x square z minus 3y square z plus z cube by 3. Determine whether the continuity equation is satisfied. Now here very simple problem is there. Given u equal to x cube minus y cube minus z cube x, then v is y cube minus z cube and w is minus 3x square z minus 3x square y minus 3y square z plus z cube by 3. So here we get it as directly, we get the value as here the equation is wrongly written here. In the question it is z square x. So here it should be z square x only. So dou by u by dou x equal to 3x square minus z square, because y cube will be 0 and this will be 1. So z square only. Now what will happen is dou by v by dou by y will be equal to 3y square and this z square will be 0. And dou by w by dou z will be equal to, z is there, so minus 3x square will as it is, minus again here z is there, so minus 3y square, plus here z cube by 3 is there. So what we have to write is dou by w by dou z will be equal to only z square, because z cube is there. So the derivation will be z raised to 3 minus 1. So therefore it will be z square. So dou by w by dou x plus dou by v by dou y plus dou by w by dou z, this whole addition should be 0. So then only we can say that the continuity equation is satisfied. So let's see here. 3x square minus z square plus 3y square minus 3y square x square minus 3y square plus z square. Now you can see here that this plus 3x square and minus 3x square gets cancelled. Minus z square plus z square get cancelled. And 3y square and minus 3y square is getting cancelled. So we get the value as 0. And therefore we can say that this continuity equation is satisfied. Then coming to the final problem. Problem number 3. In an incompressible flow, the velocity vector is given by V is equal to, now see the equation is big, 6xt plus yz square I plus 3t plus xy square j plus xy minus 2xyz minus 6tz k. Verify whether the continuity equation is satisfied and determine the acceleration vector at point L at 2, 2, 2, that is xyz points, and at t is equal to 2. Guys, see, it is mentioned, or it is request to all the students to solve this problem on the notebook, because it will require a higher calculations. So V is equal to 6xt plus yz squared I plus 3t plus xy square j plus xy minus 2xy minus 6tz k. So we are having ui plus vj plus wk. So guys, see, u equal to, what will be u equal to here now? U will be 6xt plus yz square. So u is equal to 6ht plus yz square. So dabba u by dabba x will be equal to, this x will be 1, so it will be 60, and this yz square will be 0. So dabba u by dabba x is equal to 60. Similarly, second, v is equal to 3t plus xy square. So dabba v by dabba I will be equal to 3t will be 0, y square is there here, so 2xy will be the dabba v by dabba y equation. W is equal to xy minus 2xyz plus minus 6tz. So dabba w by dabba z equal to, this will be 0 xy. Here you will get minus 2xy because z will be constant 1 minus 60. So you get dabba w by dabba z is minus, here you will get the value as minus 2xy minus 60. Next, dabba u by dabba x plus dabba v by dabba y plus dabba w by dabba z. So we are having dabba u by dabba x 60 plus 2xy minus 2xy minus 60. So all values are getting cancelled. So we can say that the continuity equation is satisfied because the addition of all these values is 0. Here the continuity equation is satisfied. Now guys, what we have to find is acceleration. Acceleration vector points are given to us, that in x, y and z direction the magnitude is 2, and time, with respect to time also it is 2. So now see here that az will be equal to dabba u by dabba t plus u dabba u by dabba x plus v dabba u by dabba y plus w dabba u by dabba z. Only is to do the direction of x. So whenever x direction is taken, we have to use only u. So therefore, dabba u by dabba x or dabba u by dabba t here first value will be 6x because t is constant. So dabba u by dabba t is 6x plus u is 6xt plus yz square and dabba u by dabba x is 60 plus v is 3t plus xy square, but dabba u by dabba y we have to find out now. Dabba u by dabba y will be equal to only y because here y is constant, so therefore it will be z square plus w is again xy minus 2xyz minus 6tz as it is, and dabba u by dabba z will be equal to 2yz. That is this equation with respect to z. So it will be only equal to 2yz because it is only related with x. So therefore, when we have to find the value of the particular quantity at 2, 2, 2, we will get this value as ax. So ax you have to put in a whole equation. X will be 2, y will be 2, z will be 2, and t also will be 2. So when we find out this, we get this as 164 units. So ax is 164 units. Guys, check the calculations. Now similarly for ay, it will be dy by dt, dv by dt plus u dabba v by dabba x plus v dabba v by dabba y plus w dabba v by dabba z. So again, if we find out these equations, we get 3 plus 6xt plus yz square y square plus 3t plus xy square 2xy plus xy minus 2xyz minus 6tz 0. When we evaluate this equation, we get at points 2 to 2 and at t equal to 2, ay will be equal to 243 units. So that is the value of ay, that is 243 units. Similarly, we have to calculate for az. Az is dabba w by dabba t plus u dabba w by dabba x plus v dabba w by dabba y plus w dabba w by dabba z. So when we evaluate this, we get minus 6z plus 6xt plus yz square, that is u, y minus 2yz plus 3t plus xy square, x minus 2xz plus xy minus 2xyz minus 6tz minus 2xy minus 6t. So again, when we put x equal to 2, y equal to 2, z equal to 2 and t equal to 2, we get this az value as 432 units. So therefore, we can find out this acceleration as a equal to 164I plus 243J plus 432K. You can easily find the capital A also, under root AI square plus we can say under root AX square plus AY square plus AZ square, but we only are required to find out this equation. So guys, this is the end of the particular continuity equation, fluid kinematics part 3, where we have seen the rate of flow or discharge, how to calculate, then also how the Cartesian coordinate is used in finding out the continuity equation, and also at the same time how the problems are solved based on the Cartesian coordinate system. So it is a request to all to subscribe our YouTube channel and also see the lectures related to our fluid mechanics and fluid theory, fluid and turbo machinery. We are running this chapter. Also, we are running the way in which the lectures we are running will be helpful for all the GATE candidates or the candidates who are learning UPSC, MPSC exams, etc. Okay, so thank you very much for your great response. Hope for a same response in future. Thank you very much.